Hey everybody, today we're going to be covering good cages versus bad cages, what to look for in a good cage versus a bad one. So first thing I'm going to cover is a little bit about what are some bad things you're going to be wanting to avoid when you're shopping for a cage. And I know there's so many cages out there, it can be really hard to try to figure out which one is good versus bad. So one of the first things I'd say you do not want in a cage is anything that is under 8 square feet for 2 females. If you have 2 females, then you will not want anything smaller than that. And if you have up to, say, 3 or 4 females, you're going to want a 16 square foot cage. Same with males. If you have 2 males, you're going to want a 16 square foot pen because males are more territorial, so because of that, they will need kind of double the space as the females. Then if you were to get 3 to 4 males, then you'll want to have like a 24 square foot cage, if that makes sense. I'll pop a chart up here so you can look at it. That'll be a little easier to understand. Let me try to explain it. But basically anything under 8 square feet is just simply too small and should not be used for your guinea pigs. Now I will post a video later on more in depth on why we say cages that are under 8 square feet are too small, but simply put, the cages they sell in pet stores, generally speaking, are just too small and aren't suitable for guinea pigs. Reasons that vary. Sometimes it's because some people blame it on like the pet stores, others blame it on the manufacturers. I personally kind of think it just is a stereotype thing from years back. For many years before they did more studies on guinea pigs, they always just kept them in small cages, so it sort of became just a stereotype. And I think that kind of has something to do with it as well. But again, I'll do a separate video more in depth on that if you like. You can put in the comments if that's something that would interest you. That's probably the biggest thing you're going to want to watch out for in cages is anything under 8 square feet. Simply too small and should be avoided. Another thing you're going to want to avoid is anything with a wire or mesh bottom for the floors. Those are not good for guinea pigs' feet because it's too sharp. Imagine like standing on chicken wire in your bare feet. Obviously that would hurt after a little bit and it can really make your guinea pig's feet sore. Also, bacteria can get in those little grooves and it's a real problem to clean and could be potentially dangerous as far as bacteria growth. Another thing you're going to want to avoid is anything that has too tall levels. If it's like those cages for rats and stuff that have like multiple levels, you want to avoid those. Guinea pigs need more floor space than like level space. Guinea pigs don't climb, so anything with multi-levels and a small floor space is not at all suitable. Guinea pigs need more floor space. Another thing you're going to want to avoid is anything that is like a fish tank or a bin cage. I know some people use this for hamsters with like a good mesh top. That's not suitable for a guinea pig. Guinea pigs are much too big. They produce too much smell and stink that what happens is the ammonia and stuff in their pee stays in the cage. It can't come out. And what happens is your guinea pigs can actually get a respiratory disease and could potentially die if it gets bad enough. So you'll definitely want to steer clear of any sort of fish tank or bin cage. So make sure, pretty much the things you're going to watch for is proper cage size, plenty of floor space, nice solid base floor, and fourthly, good ventilation are the key things you're going to be looking for when it comes to choosing a cage. So now I'm going to cover some of the good cages. What are some ones I'd recommend to you? Definitely the first one I'd recommend is the Midwest cage. That is the cage I use here. I really love it. I got it for about, this one I got for about $60. They range between 50 to 100 bucks usually. That's US dollars. I know it would vary, depending on what country you live in and different states as well. But that is generally kind of the price range I found for at least me living here. Another thing I love about it is that it is expandable. You can add on to it. So right now, currently, I have it in an L shape, have 2, which equals 16 square feet. So one single cage is about 8 square feet of living space. So if you have 3 or 4 females or 2 males, then you can get a second cage and actually attach them. So that's something I really love about these cages. Also, they have an open top, but you can get the little roof parts, like what I have on mine, that you can actually fold down, because having cats, you need to have your guinea pigs secure. So anything that's open may not be ideal, but this is really nice because you do have that option. Another thing I really like about these cages is that they have these little fabric bases, so you can actually take them off and wash them if you really wanted to, and if they ever get worn out, you can actually go and buy a replacement fairly cheap for about 20 bucks. So that is some things I really love about these cages. Some things are kind of a downside of this cage is simply that they have ramps for the doors, and the problem with that is that some guinea pigs have trouble getting over them. All my 3 never did, but I know some people say that is an issue, so depending on your situation and your guinea pigs, if you have older ones, that could potentially be a problem. So something you want to be kind of aware of and possibly kind of consider when you're choosing a cage. So that's some of the downsides of this. Other than that, I really don't have any. Technically, it is just under 8 square feet. It's not exactly 8 square feet. That's what they advertise it as. But if you actually measure it, it is just under. But, you know, since you can expand, it's definitely a cage I'd still recommend. Another cage I'd really recommend is the KT Open Living Habitat. That cage is very similar to the Midwest cage, except it is a little more pricey. It ranges more around 100 bucks. That cage is about 8 square feet as well. The nice thing about this cage is that the doors actually fold flat, so it's more a solid level, so there is no ramp, which is really nice, and it is still expandable, so you can add on more space as needed, which is really nice. Same with the Midwest, it has a removable base, so you can take that out, buy replacements and all that, which is really nice. So for if you're more considering something with a flat without the ramp, this might be a good option for you. Another cage that is pretty good is the Amazon Basics cage. This one is very similar to the Midwest as well. It is ranges around $35 to $40, so it's a cheaper cage. The only problems with this cage though is being that it's pretty cheap, is a little harder to assemble, and you cannot expand it. It has like a regular pet store cage doors, so you can't easily expand it, which is potentially a problem if you are considering getting more guinea pigs. Now if you're planning on only having 2, it is a pretty good cage. If you're more worried about the money side of things, that's kind of a personal decision you have to make, but the pricing is really nice on these cages, and overall it's a pretty good cage. It has like I think it has a removable top as well, and it is pretty easy to clean. It is 8 square feet of living space as well, which is really nice. So it is a suitable cage, and I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for something on the cheaper side. Another cage that I definitely recommend is Cnc cages. This is kind of a newer idea. It has been out for a little bit now, but and growing more popular. It's really nice though, because you can actually, what it is these little CNC grids that you get for shelving. You can actually make cages out of those. So you can make it whatever shape, whatever size you want. And then people will get a coroplast base, and it'll make like a base for inside it. There are some videos, I'll put some links in the description below, of some good channels that you can check out that have really good tutorials on how they did it. So one thing that's really nice about these cages is that they are so customizable. If you aren't interested in the whole coroplast base thing, one thing that is really nice is some people will put like a shower curtain liner down and then put their fleece on top of that, and just make it like a basic pen and just put it on the ground or on a table. So that is also an option if you are looking just for like a pen, basically. It is very good. You can also do that. I'll put a picture of both the coroplast base and just the shower curtain liner base as well. Both work equally well, just depends on your personal needs and your what you need for your situation. You can put on roofs on these, so if you have cats, you can also put a roof on that, which is really nice. Generally speaking, these vary depending on pricing. Depending on where you live, I heard some people say it's like under 60 bucks. Where I live personally, it's a little more pricey and can go up above 100. There are some nice websites you can check out that they actually sell cages. pre-made, so you just buy them, like all the pieces come home, well, they get delivered to your home, and you can just put it together, which is really nice as well. Those unfortunately do go a little higher than if you were just to buy the supplies on your own. So that is something to consider depending on what your needs are. But it's definitely a great cage option. A lot of people just love it. I'm personally thinking of maybe trying it someday. Not sure when, but it looks really fun and really neat option. And you can do so much with it. You can make upper level, shelving, whatever you want, and it's so cool. So definitely it's a good option. Another one that I would definitely recommend is DIY cages. Like, people make them out of everything. There is people who make them out of wood, like Little Ventures cage. Her cage is amazing. And then other people make it out of more kind of like a lighter material. I think it could be Coroplast. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But like Squeak Dreams cage, her cage is so cool. I think it's made out of Coroplast. I'm not 100% sure, but check out her channel as well, and you'll see it's such a cool cage. And it's all done by DIY, just making it however they like. Some people even go crazy and they'll use like those big plastic swimming pools, and they'll put like a cage pen around it and make that into a guinea pig cage. So like, you can use whatever, just as long as it is over 18 square feet or the proper measurements for how many guinea pigs you have. That is a super good option for you depending on your situation. These cages don't really have a price. It can go pretty cheap or it could go super expensive. It all depends on how much effort and money you put into it. So these are like the ones that are most common. I think people have, universally across the world. But always, if you see a cage, just make sure it is over, the amount that you need for how many guinea pigs you have. And as long as it's the proper size and, doesn't have anything dangerous like what I listed earlier in this video, it's a good cage, so you can always go for those as well. So I hope you guys liked watching this. Obviously, I'm going to put some pictures right here of just some bad cage options I've seen pictures of, just to give you an idea of some of the not so good cages. So these are some ones that are examples of what you want to avoid. If you're at the store, avoid these. So now I'm going to set up my old cage that I had back when I first got my guinea pigs, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how bad it really is. And I'll post some pictures of my current cage and the guinea pigs, and I'll be showing you guys kind of a comparison about how bad they really are and why exactly you want to avoid those. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so right now I'm going to be setting up my old cage. So this is what my old one looks like. I'm going to be setting this up to show you exactly why you should not be using these cages, because it is simply too small. And you'll see, compared to like my cage over here, why this one is just ridiculous and why they should not really be selling these in the pet stores. So first things first, we're going to put in some fleece. The fleece is generally just cleaner and easier than bedding. So this is like a rug thing that I got from Dollar General. Usually I use it as a pee pad in my cage, but I think this will work for fleece. It's already still too big. This is just like a little mini rug. Okay, so that's in there. Obviously it's too big. It's the same on this side too, but yeah. So now I would put a litter box in here, but that would just take way too much space. I'll check it out. Okay, we're gonna put a litter box in here. I don't know, I could just be, I might just want to go without, but we'll leave it in there for now. Now I'm going to take some Heidi's. This is the smallest one I have. So I'll put that in here. Although I'm gonna try a Pigloo. Pigloos are really nice houses. Everyone loves Pigloos. Well, that obviously is too small. Big. Cage is too small. That ain't gonna work. Let's just keep the small one then. So now, obviously, guinea pigs need bowls. So I'm gonna try to find the smallest one this one's dirty, but we'll use it for picture. I'll put that, I'll put it here so you guys can see. There's a bowl. Now they need toys to chew on. Put in 2 toys. Okay, so I would like to put a tunnel in here, but obviously there is no space. So now, guinea pigs should never be kept alone, so we're gonna grab my 2 smallest guinea pigs I have and put them in here. Yes. Here's Missy. Now, careful girl. Okay, here's my other smallest, Daisy. Now obviously, they're like, I can't go anywhere. She's like trying to move stuff and things, and my guinea pigs, back when I used to keep these 2 in here, I'm sad to say, they used to be chewing or so naughty. And obviously it's too small, like they have no space to do anything. Even if I were to say I'm going to take out the litter box, if you just have plain bedding in there or are okay with changing it, that back here, it's still way too small. Like they have no space to do anything. They have, you know, a house, and they should have 1 house per guinea pig. So imagine if I put a second house in here. It's too small, like you can't, it's too small, there is no space. Even if you were, you know, naughty and only had, say, 1 guinea pig, Daisy back, and no house, if you didn't know, and you just had, like, probably having the pictures at the store, like, 1 guinea pig in this cage, and like no house, they still have nowhere to do anything. They're obviously going to get bored. She's already kind of looking around like, what am I going to do in here? There's just no space to do anything. So that is the reason why they say you should not use these cages, because obviously it is way too small. So I'm going to put her back and I'm going to show you some pictures. I'll put some pictures up here on the screen of my cage I have now. And you'll just kind of see, like, she's tearing up the fleece in here. She's obviously bored. I'll put her back. So I hope you guys like seeing this video. I'll be sure to be posting more soon. I'm sorry that there hasn't been many videos for many weeks. That's because there's a lot going on with work and everything. So I was not able to post as much, but I'm hopefully going to be able to get more out for you guys. And probably my next video is going to be like the best foods for guinea pigs. And I'm going to be putting all these videos that I'm making, like beginner guides, like on cages, food, you know, all that good stuff. I'm going to be putting it into a playlist so you guys can, if you're a new guinea pig owner, there'll be like a whole playlist of all these videos and you can go and watch them all back to back and kind of make like a big compilation of them. So I hope you guys found this useful, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye!